I'm a reviewer. Let the reviews be joined. Hello everyone again. This is your friend Dinobot. Coming at you with yet another video review of an actual figure in this one. Going back to the figure line once again. As you can see, we're going to do this one on the Generations Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. Most of you know, this figure is based on this game, the Fall of Cybertron game. There we got a great image of Grimlock right there. If you've never played this game and you're a Transformers fan, why are you not playing this game? This game is a must-have for any Transformers game player or any Transformers collector at all. I'd highly recommend getting this game. When I first got this game, I was up for literally almost all night playing it, and that's a rarity for me with the way things are in my life with my family and all. But let's get right into the figure. Let's move this out of the way. Now, figure-wise, this isn't bad. I like the Dino mode to a degree. It does have its problems. It does highly resemble the game a lot. Now, most viewers do have him kind of stand like this. I prefer kind of like this. Gives him a little bit more support and all, but still, he is a great figure in Dino mode. His Dino mode isn't the best, but still, it's a great representation of his design in the game. It has great quality to it. It's got a great look. It's got the almost G1 design to it, the color scheme and everything. It's got great detail work in all the joints, in all the side, and his legs, and everywhere on him. He's got great detail on every part of him, so that's a big plus to him. He also has a great gimmick up here for the head, as most have seen. Got this little switch right here behind his head, and when you pull it back, I'm actually going to flip the little light off a little bit. See if it shows better. He's got a great light gimmick right there that lights up really like his fire breath is breathing. But as you can see, it also lights up his eyes and his little jaw joint right there, and right there on the top of his head. It also lights up his Autobot insignia that's right there, which is a cool little side feature to it as well. It will work also in his robot mode, but we'll get into that here very shortly. Most of his joints are really great, especially his leg joints. His leg joints are really a plus to me on that. He's got his T-Rex claws. His fingers don't move, but the joints at the shoulder for him is on a ball joint, so they have a small range and they do pop off real easy like that. But if it being a ball joint, it pops right back on without a problem. The only little detail I have, mostly with his Dino mode, which I don't have fully clipped down there, is the tail. His tail is rather long and kind of, I don't want to say weird looking, but kind of not really distinguished. But still, otherwise it's not bad, and it is kind of, as you can see there, kind of a little back heavy for his tail, but mostly that's coming from his length. Accessories for this, you can still add his little accessories for his T-Rex mode, which is you have his shield and you have his sword. Both of these can be added to the T-Rex mode simply by pegging them into the holes here on the hips of his legs, which isn't bad. It's not a bad little feature for display purposes to keep his weapon storage together. We'll put the other one here on this leg. I mean, it's not too shabby, but you don't really see Grimlock walking around in his T-Rex mode with the shield and sword on him, so it's kind of a one of those iffy things for the weaponry, but still nice little side thing for keeping your weapons and that together. Now, your next question is, how do you transform? Well, considering this guy's size and everything, it's actually really simple. It's actually got a fairly good G1 aesthetic to it for his transformation. To transform him, you come to the back here, and one little feature I found is right here in the tail. These 2 points in the tail do stick together. There's 2 little pegs in there, and they're not real difficult to pull apart, but it does take a little bit of effort. And the best way really to do it without having too much problems, go ahead and raise his feet up right here for his robot mode. Oops, I pushed that back down by accident, and just pull, which as you can see, there we go, and they come right apart. The next thing you want to do is you pull this part of the leg of the tail down, which basically forms his leg. And as you do so, if you look kind of in the back here, the tail, the rear of his tail will actually lock into place if you push it far enough, which is a good little side note. And then you got his foot, sticking out there. We'll do it this way on this side so you can see it a little bit better. We'll separate that out a little bit. And you just push it down, keep pushing. You hear it click, and it locks it into place. And there you have him, half transformed. You take his arms, you just turn them around like so. His dino will. Let's go ahead and get the upper body first, because I forgot about the arms being in the way here. You take this portion, his T-Rex head, and you just push it forward, which unpegs from here, and you push this back. As you get back, you see it reveals the dino head, or his robot head. You flip the head, T-Rex head down, and you slide it into the back area. Which, this was the other bad note to him in T-Rex mode, which I didn't go over till just now, is he's got a big opening right there for T-Rex mode. I mean, it is kind of covered up when he's in T-Rex mode because he's standing up, but it is kind of a big gappy right there, and a lot of people complain about that. It's not a bad thing, but it's still, it kind of people bothers a little bit. You can't, with the claws here for the T-Rex, you can raise them up if you want to, just to get them out of the way, which it does make it a little bit easier. And then you want to straighten out his arms here. Whoops, this is the other thing about his arms. You see the type of joint that's in there? It's kind of real easy to get that loose, but it's like a them tabs in there kind of help you to give it a little bit more extra oomph to it to help secure them. For the hands, you go right here on the T-Rex. You want to push the front or the one tail or one toe part, pulls the fist up, and then you twist it to straighten it out with the hand, and then you just push them back together. Now, the odd thing about this is on the G1 it was the other way around. You had the 2 dino claws on the top part of the hand and the 1 in the back. They've kind of just reversed it for some reason, I guess to better hold the shield or in the sword, and I can kind of see that distinction for that, but I'll show that off again here in a minute. We can do the same on this side. Turn the fist, put it back together, and there you have it. Grimlock in Dino and Robo mode. Not too shabby, really. Apologize, I should have flipped that light back on. Not too bad at all. I mean, his robot mode is actually really, a lot of people, and I agree with a lot of viewers out there that say his robot mode is the better of the 2 modes, which it is. It really is. He looks really cool in Robo mode. You can, again, with his weaponry, his sword, you can stick it in one hand, and his shield in the other. Well, I'll take that back. You can't put the shield in this hand. You have to put it right here on the side peg of his foot. Which, there you go. That's his accessories. Which ain't too bad, because that's how it was in the game. The only real problem I have with the weaponry is they seem like they're too small. If you play the game, his shield is much, much bigger. I mean, if you play the first game, you got the tyrants in there, or the brutes, excuse me, not tyrants, the brute bots in there, which basically were just like Grimlock. They had the big shield and the big, weapon. There is an upgrade kit for Grimlock. Actually, there's a couple of them. One that gives him like some more, like a block back here to cover up the hole back here, and then there's one for his shield and sword. It actually gives him a bigger shield and sword, which is pretty cool. But then there's also another little accessory you can get that's actually gives you Grimlock's little G1 double barrel gun that he had. I sadly do not own any of that just yet, but I do plan to get those at some point. I don't know how soon I'll be able to get them, but I do plan to get them. As I said before about the light up, we're going to do this again. We're going to flip this light off, and I'm going to show you the light up feature on his chest here. Because if you remember in the game itself, it would his chest and that was lit up as well from basically like power, I guess, surging through him. But if you reach back here to where the switch is for the T-Rex head, you can pull that, and as you can see, let's try this way. If it gets too dark, I do apologize. I'm just going to try to show it off a little bit better. There we go. So it does light up all the parts up here. It does light up here, and it does light this Autobot symbol. Though this one, if you can tell, it's different from the original. It's got the little, almost like animalistic type face to it, which is still pretty cool. Also, it doesn't show it too well with that light up. There's not really a way to do it. He does have where you can light his eyes up. He does have the view here, which is still pretty cool. I mean, you can get his eyes lit up like that. So, but that's a cool little feature to him. And that's really about it for this guy. Other than his joints are really cool. He does have, for robot mode, he does have the ball joint right here for his head, so he does get that little bit of movability for his head. You do have the type of joints for the shoulders. You got a little bit in the elbow there, and you got the hips. You got about the same movement in hips, but they're all really tight. And you can turn it here. It's got the peg joint there, and you got the little bit of knee movement. It kind of loses it because of the tail bit right there, but still. Let's fix that back. And the feet do have just that, not really any movement, just from the transformation. But otherwise, this is a nice figure for your collection. I mean, I've always been like a good fan of Grimlock. I've always liked that character. Who doesn't? I mean, he's a T-Rex. He was the leader of the Dinobots and all. But I would recommend getting this figure if you're a fan of Grimlock. I also would recommend getting the accessories for him, which on that note, as I've been doing lately, this is part one of a two-part video I'm doing. This is just on the figure itself. The next one I will do on this figure will be after I have applied the repro labels for him, which I can't remember the exact price I paid for those. I think they were like $7, maybe $8 for the set for this guy. But it's going to add a lot to him. Like, I believe it adds like a little bit more up here, which it don't really need it, but still I think it adds a few more here and there to it. But I actually forgot to put them within range here, so I apologize for that. But look soon for that video, and we're just going to end this here and say, if you haven't, please comment below, please like, please share this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Also, I will post the links to the Repro Label website so you can check it out, because they have a lot of good sets on there. I highly recommend checking it out at least once. Their pricing is not bad. The shipping is really not bad. Granted, you might, depending on what you buy and stuff, you might have a little bit of a wait period in them. I'll also post down below my link to my email account, So you can email me, ask me any questions you like. I also post a link down to my Twitter account where you can follow me on Twitter. But aside from that, folks, this is going to be Dinobot signing out, saying thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.